And President Trump is again threatening to take federal control of D.C. He posted on Truth Social claiming teen crime is out of control and saying the law must be changed to prosecute minors as adults. The president and Elon Musk posted about an alleged beating of a Doge team member who police say was trying to keep his girlfriend from being assaulted during an attempted carjacking. The president says it's an example of why, in his opinion, the federal government may need to take over the district.
Somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
D.C. police say the incident happened on Swan Street near Logan Circle early Sunday morning. The police report says 10 juveniles surrounded a vehicle. The victim pushed his girlfriend inside to protect her, and then the juveniles attacked him. Police pulled up and arrested a 15-year-old boy and 15-year-old girl from Hyattsville. The others got away. President Trump has floated the idea of a federal takeover of D.C. several times since taking office. We reached out to the mayor's office about Trump's threat to federalize D.C. They offered no comment. But we do want to discuss this further with trial lawyer Timothy Maloney of Joseph Greenwald and Laake. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Good afternoon.
So let's break this down. What does the president have the power to do, and what can't he do?
Well, the president can't take over the District of Columbia government on his own, but he does have some powers. He can federalize the National Guard. He can take over the Metropolitan Police Department in an emergency situation. He already controls federal prosecutions through the United States Attorney's Office. But to do more, he would have to have Congress act. Congress has the authority now to nullify some D.C. laws, such as the cannabis laws, but they would have to repeal the Home Rule Act of 1973 to really give the federal government authority to run the day-to-day operations. And that would be very involved. That would have to survive a Senate filibuster. So that seems kind of unlikely.
So at this stage, would you say this is mostly bluster, or do you believe there is actual a pathway for the president to take control, as he likes to call it, of the district?
Well, I think it's a lot of chest beating on the part of the president. But the fact is that there are things the president can do to put pressure on the local government, such as taking over the police department or pressuring Congress to nullify some laws. For instance, Congress nullified the D.C. criminal code revision a few years ago. So the federal government is not without power. And the reason is that the District of Columbia is a federally created district. It's been that way since 1789, when the original Constitution created it as such.
Right. You referenced the last time that Congress overruled the D.C. Council. You're right. That was in 2023. So as residents of D.C., how should they be interpreting these comments from the president?
Well, I think they should understand that with the president, there's always a lot of posturing, but they should also make their voices known, because this is a situation where a Congress under the control or the influence of the president could take actions that would undermine D.C. home rule. You know, home rule is a fragile thing, and you could have it on paper, but have it undermined on a day-to-day basis by Congress. So it's not something that should be taken for granted.
Yeah, and notably, we haven't heard from the mayor on this, and perhaps she's just being extra careful without revealing any position on this issue. She has pushed, as we all know, for statehood. You mentioned the president has the power to take over control of the police department. What would that actually look like?
Well, he'd have to issue an emergency order and federalize the department. But I think the mayor's handling it correctly. She's a pretty shrewd politician, and she knows that perhaps this too will pass. And the fact is that crime, while these criminal events are shocking, that crime overall is down 26% in the district, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for that.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for jumping on quickly to discuss this issue that has a lot of folks talking today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.